It's me, Vera, here to remind you that this is an adult podcast. That means we're going to deal with tough topics. Take a break if you need it, and be kind to yourself, because we sure won't be.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Stitch of Fate, a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition podcast. As always, I am your storyteller, Mike Martin, joined by my four wonderful players, Dot, Bub, Josh, and Mark. Hello, friends.
Howdy, honey.
Howdy.
What's up?
We are already on episode 4 of this damn season. It's just going
true.
by.
It's just
so
we're just
damn fast.
speeding
really
through
is.
it, and all you're doing is you're just teasing us, Mathas.
I'm not teasing you.
Yeah, you are. You're like,
teasing you?
little Kadir here, little surprise at the end there. I see what you're doing. We see what you're
I
doing.
don't know what to tell you. Regardless, thank you all to everybody out there who is over on Patreon and directly supporting us. We wouldn't be able to do season 2 without you. And if you can't support us directly on Patreon, something you can do, other than telling your friends, is dropping us a review on whatever podcast app you are listening to us to.
Yep.
That goes a long way into just kind of spreading the word and letting people know who may not have heard of it. They might pop up on their recommended or something. So please, go ahead if you enjoy it to drop us a review. It really does help out. With all that said, I think we're good. So let's rein it in, set the scene, and see what our coterie is up to. As the scene opens, it's moments after the coterie's return to the Succubus Club. We can hear the final plodding footsteps of Duke making his way into the basement and then all four of them turning into the blood room. A successful dealing with the Russians just an hour or so ago. Tommy the Mouse in their hands securely, and security to arrive within the week to guard the Succubus Club. Already Kadir is well aware of this arrangement, as you did tell him to expect guns further from this point forward. But it's also from Kadir that you learned of something else. Something a little troubling and something that might even bring unfortunate memories back to Vera of her past. A random upcropping of 3 thin bloods have popped up in the boroughs. Staten Island specifically, as you've discovered. There, in a club they've been openly feeding, and after the past couple of nights is already rumors that in that club there's something in the drink that not only makes you feel good, but gives you a hangover like nothing else the next day. And it's starting to draw the most adventurous of types. This in itself is a masquerade breach, worthy of death even if they were full-blooded kindred. But the fact that there are thin bloods involved, and the prince herself is unconscious in your basement, brings plenty of other layers of concern to the security of the Camarallas Foundation here in New York, but that of Kadir and your coterie's safety. And as the four of you pile into the blood room and turn to face each other, a job well done with the Russians, some pocketed cash, and some added security. Now the question as to what to do with the thin bloods sits before you. Kadir left it rather open. He's giving you the opportunity to investigate yourself should you decide you want more information. But at the end of the day, they have to be dispatched. You have the club's name and location in Staten Island. You know where to go.
So, what's the plan here, Vera? You want me to go take a little poke around, get the lay of the land?
Yes. You should take Sean with you. He'll blend right in.
Okay, kid, this is gonna be a on the DL kind of thing. You're gonna need to keep hidden. You think you can pull that off?
I've been learning from you. A little bit.
Good. Yeah, so do what I do to the best of your abilities.
I'll try.
Question, can Sean move around while still obfuscated?
Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah, that's a little bit of an onion in the ointment, if you know what I mean.
No, not really.
That's a bad thing. That's no good. What are you gonna just stand? Am I supposed to carry you around? What's going on? I mean, would that
Could try
work?
that.
Does that work? Oh, you know what? I could just go, and then we wouldn't have all this hilarious hassle.
Yeah, but I kind of want to meet them.
What, you want to meet them? Look,
If-
this is like this is like if you're on the farm and coming up with names for all of the baby pigs. It's not a good idea.
Oh, I'm a baby pig now.
No, they're the baby pigs in this equation. You're like, the farmer's daughter in pigtails who wants to make friends with all of them, and I'm going to have to slaughter them in short order, so I don't want that.
You what?
What he's saying is don't give them names, Sean.
They have names.
We need you to...
I didn't do that.
We need you to go in there and find out some information. I want to know who's siring them. I have a suspected
Surely
feeling.
they'd know.
Precisely. So we need to ask.
I could figure that out. We don't have to kill them.
Sean, it's been requested of us by Kadir himself.
Yeah, we kind of literally do have to kill them. That's kind of the job we've been given.
And if we do not, he will go and do it himself.
We can just, give them, a talking to, tell them what the rules are, take them somewhere else, right?
Yeah, well, you can take that up with Kadir, all right? If you want to maybe see if the plan can be amended.
Since when is Kadir our boss?
We're in a pretty precarious situation. I'm not sure if you've noticed.
Yeah, we're the ones with a prince in our basement, not him.
How about this? Let's collect us some thin bloods and I'll chat with them.
This is
All right.
This is going to be a snatch and grab there, Vera?
Can you snatch them all?
Yeah, I can grab one easy enough.
Can you figure out who's the thin blood?
This is the question that I keep asking myself, which is why I want Sean to go in there and smooze booze up to them and find out who the fuck they are and who the fuck is turning them. Then we can snatch them and I'll chat with them.
Okay. All right.
I look at Duke like, we gotta have some cleanup.
There's a knowing nod.
Okay, okay.
So it's Max and Sean who leave then. Making their way as a dynamic duo out the back door and into the sewers. Both plopping into a little puddle, creating a small echo of a noise. You definitely hear some sort of critter not too far off scamper away around the corner. And the four of you begin to head south. I don't know, I said four. The two of you begin to head south. It's a hell of a journey this way out, and getting to Staten Island is certainly a pain in the ass for any kindred. But it's possible. Plenty of ferries and the like make their way out there, and bridges that you could walk if desperately needed on the west side of Staten Island. And it's this long journey that Sean and Max make their way. I'm curious, is there words between the two of them, or is it a rather silent talk?
Oh, no.
Sean's grumpy.
Yeah. Max
fair enough.
Max occasionally is just like, hey, come on. Cheer up, kid.
Does that always work?
Well, hey, it might never happen. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
You are the worst.
Look, I don't like this particularly, but what else are we going to do here? We're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. We're in a pickle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so are they. Can we help them out? You help me out.
Yeah, well, you go around taking in every stray eventually. Believe me, I know how that is, but okay, look. Why don't we get the lay of the land first? All right? We might get lucky. Maybe they're complete pieces of shit that we'd be happy to kill.
That'll make me feel so much better.
Okay,
All right.
well, maybe it's like that, so let's go see if it is.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, come on. Look, in this life, you gotta get used to the fact that sometimes you gotta do stuff that you don't want to do. All right? I've had nearly 100 years of that crap. And believe me, I don't like the taste of that shit sandwich, no matter how many times I've had to chew on it before. But it must be done.
Do what we gotta do. Don't have
Yeah.
to like it.
Yeah. But you can also, you don't have to bitch about it on a constant basis either. You can just go, fine, let's move on.
I think I'll stick to bitching.
Yeah, I kind of figured. All right, let's see.
And the camera stays in place as the two of them walk further away into the distance before eventually fading away. Now, does Duke and Veer want to have any conversation while there's just the two of them, or do we want to cut right to the club?
Yeah, I think it's probably fitting that there is conversation between the two.
This does strike and bring up a bit of a past between the two of you. How long after they leave do the two of you broach this topic? I'm curious if there's any tension between the two of you, or if this is something that the two of you openly are willing to begin speaking of.
We have spoken of this before. I'm not supposed to do this kind of work anymore.
It's been asked of us, particularly by Kadir. If it were another, I would probably ignore such a request.
Yes, I know. What are we supposed to tell Sean?
What is there to actually tell him?
Well, other than the fact that he's a simple misstep and poor spoken sentence away from ending up on the wrong side of my blade, we're going in to start killing Thinlords. He is in fact one that is directly connected to a single Thinlord that may end up with a hunt against him. When I killed them before, I didn't have one living with me. This helped to separate my work, if that makes sense.
Vera, you weren't fulfilling some sort of bizarre or morbid fantasy. This wasn't something that you wanted to do.
Right.
It was a part of your job.
Of course it was.
Unless there was more there and you found fulfillment in this.
How does Vera's posture shift in that comment? If at all.
I don't think she would want it to shift.
Would it be a roll? To, like,
a
to
composure
lie?
roll?
Yeah, like a composure roll of a sort. Let me see something.
A composure.
That would be a composure subterfuge roll as you attempt to hide your immediate reaction to that statement, especially coming from who you know Duke to be.
Okay, well,
if it's a crit,
got two successes, not a critical.
2 successes is what you would consider a average normal task. If this is something that would be difficult for Vera to hide, then she failed. However, I lay that in you, the player's hand, as you know Vera better than anyone here.
This is Duke.
This is Duke.
Okay.
You could have Duke roll a wit's insight to see if he beats your 2. I mean, it could just simply be a contested roll.
Bub?
I can do that.
There we go.
I can at
We'll
least
just do it
try.
then.
Thought
We'll
you
lay it
probably
there.
could.
Wit's insight then.
Only one success.
An unfortunate roll. 2 successes versus 1 success. Vera may to herself realize her posture immediately reacts and changes, but she catches it before Duke's eyes reach over to her and examine. Vera does not seem to react to that satisfying sentence.
Vera, you understand that I simply wouldn't judge you for that matter of the sort anyway, given my past. Not that it particularly matters.
What if I said
But
it did matter?
Then I suppose that you should determine whether or not that passion was fulfilled. At some point, consistently fulfilling that passion will inundate you and will numb you to the fact thereof, which I believe what is a lot of kindred life. We seek no enjoyment from what it is that we do, aside from Max, who seems to enjoy thrusting his fist from the back to the front of a man's face repeatedly.
Well, he's good at it.
We're good at a lot of things, but only so much enjoyment can be profoundly discovered.
Duke, you've been here, well, a couple decades now. I am a Toreador. My bane is that my passion is never fulfilled. Yearning is part of the lifestyle. And we all find our art in different ways.
Art is constantly in evolution. At some point, you seem to fall short using a particular medium. The Thin Bloods are just that.
Well,
It's a fallacy in what it is that we could be doing. Admittedly, I left some of that life behind myself. And while at times I wonder if I will ever go back, I can happily say that I am remiss to say I'm eager to discover that yet again.
Duke, when you say those words, sometimes you worry about whether or not you'll go back. There's a slight pit in your stomach, not of concern, not of a anxiety or any of that. It's though the beast suddenly makes himself known. For Duke, the beast, in a way, is who he once was. And bringing up his past, even briefly, always flares that feeling. The beast didn't die. In a way, the beast ruled you in your mortal life. And now it desperately wants out again.
I see, Vera, there is an art that I have no doubt that you've discovered. One I wish that I had found a bit more in my human life. I was unawares to as such, but it continues to change, and at times, in a bit of my being, I have some regrets for the man that rested and rot in prison in my place. And one day I'm sure he will seek his penance in one way or another, but that is entirely up to my patron and those who embraced me into this world. All that I can ask is that things move swiftly, so I do not wish for those to endure a slow, painful death. Are you familiar with the term ear to ear, the saying?
yes, I guess I am.
Most people do it wrong, Vera. When you slit the throat, you have to cut it from ear to ear in order to sever the windpipe and the jugular so that they bleed and suffocate at the same time. Otherwise, they'll just be in a great deal of pain. This is how I learned the term ear to ear. It's literally what that meant. Some people just think it's an expression. It's not. It's an instruction. And that's kindred life. We live by instruction and guidance. Sean is in desperate need.
Sean is finding his way. And I don't want to get rid of him until he has fulfilled a promise that he owes us.
My fear is that eventually necessity will overtake him. And while we are valuable to him right now in a sort of big brother, big sister statement, his bleeding heart is going to get him caught.
Like I said, he walks a fine line. I hope he stays on our side.
As do I. In time, I think we'll discover this. More to it, and an aside of sorts. That paper trail. How far would you like to delve into this lupine business?
I would prefer to delve as far as we can to get our hands clean of it. As much as I like a strapping man, I'd prefer not to have a lupine at my door. There's no amount of Russians that are going to stop that. What did you find?
My fear is what I've found, mostly that where one lupine, a werewolf, is frightening, a pack, a cairn even, is infinitely more, can lead to the entire destruction and removal of kindred life. It's simply not by coincidence that we managed to bump into this one. There was some implicit design behind it. He's funneling money between 10 and 20,000 a month into a private association of which does not have shell accounts. It lacks much of a paper trail short of this, and this is his private documentation. You have to bankroll these individuals. I think this is them.
Let's sit on that information. That's valuable. Wherein lies a person's money, as much as we hate to deny it, lies a little bit of their security as well. As long as he doesn't come hunting us, then we don't have to take drastic actions.
I agree. I just needed to see where this sat with you.
I would like to know who his goons are. Clearly, Tommy was working with him, but he has to have a multitude of Tommies. I did business with that piece of shit. I don't want to do business with any more.
How long were you in that room with him before he changed, Vera?
About a handful of seconds.
Long enough to get goosebumps under my vinyl, so I bolted.
You should consider yourself lucky. Most kindred do not last that long.
Yes, he touched me. The last time he will ever do that.
I'm curious to know if he operates as a sole proprietor in the mob himself, or if he is functioning alongside other immediate lupine, or potentially even other kindred.
Duke, are you interested in doing business with him?
Danger is always interested in me, but besting it and being above it is far more interesting. It's a puzzle. You know I like my puzzles, Vera.
I do, and I've always let you have them, as long as they didn't endanger the Coterie.
And I've never endangered the Coterie previously.
Which is why I'm going to trust that you're not going to now. But I don't want to be anything but open about the matter.
This is a loaded gun that I will contend to aiming in another direction, if that's your concern.
At least until the prince is out of the basement, please. The last thing I need is a lupine bursting through my front door and munching on a torpid prince.
While we're at that topic, we should consider relocating the prince, Vera. We should consider relocating them without Kadir knowing.
Why?
I don't immediately understand or proclaim to outwardly discuss why I believe Kadir is as interested. I understand that he's in the favor of the Camarilla. But there is a certain way that he's carrying himself. It's like fawning of a mother over a child. The prince is not his pet.
No, but her safety is his job.
Yes. But I also understand the way that a man can touch a woman's jaw, the way that he looked at her. I had done similar things in the past.
I have to trust, much like I trust you, that Kadir means well.
Very well.
I will think on moving the prince. But I think leaving Kadir out is a bad idea.
Then on that line, when the screen fades to black, it's immediately replaced by the audio of loud, thumping, rhythmic music. A few blocks out, Max and Sean came crawling out of the sewers, and you can see these far blocks out, a 3-story building by the name of Omnia, thumping away with rotating blue and pink neon lights. A large line rounds the block. People are eager to get in here, and this place, especially compared to the rest of Staten Island, which seems to be perpetually stuck in the early 90s, sticks out like a sore thumb.
Even though he's obfuscated, Max is going to raise his hood and bring up his scarf just in case.
Sure.
And he's just whispers in Sean's ear.
Okay, kid. Why don't you take point? I'll follow your lead for now. I'll trail you. If I need to peel off, I'll let you know.
Yeah, they're pretty noisy, right? It shouldn't be too hard to find. I'll go inside.
All right, I'll be with you. Nearby, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
And Sean breaks away, walking straight forward with Max somewhere in tow nearby. Does Sean plan on jumping to into the line? How does Sean plan on doing this?
Sean has money now. He's
Does
gonna
have money.
grab some
A wad of cash?
Yeah, he's just gonna grab like a small wad
Sure.
and do
hundreds or
the handshake
50s.
thing with the guy at the front. It's like, hey, haven't seen you in ages, mate. It's good to sit, and like slams it into his hand, gives him a big handshake. It's like,
Go ahead and give me a manipulation persuasion at a solid +2 with this wad of cash that you're handing him.
yep,
Who needs to be a Toreador when you have just money to throw at people?
2. Ooh.
Maybe roll 3 of those.
Yeah, I think I will.
Sure. With another
3.
3 successes, which is enough to beat a difficult challenge. An immortal is not all that hard to persuade at all times. And as you walk over, Sean, and kind of reach out awkwardly, hey, I haven't seen you in such a long time. He actually glances down at the palm of your hand before he recognizes some money in your palm, and he quickly brings his hand, clasps yours tightly, and he grabs on with both hands, like, hey, good to see you, buddy, and kind of leans in. He's got a really just a well-maintained goatee, completely clean-shaven around it, and a smooth bald head. And as he pulls the money from your hand, as he lets go of the clasp, you can actually see him kind of like quickly look at the cash, and he slips it into his back pocket. Hey, you got your open table's waiting for you as always.
That is exactly what I hear. You're looking good tonight. I'll catch you on the way out.
You too. And then as you pass him, his demeanor completely shifts back, as Max would catch, to a nonchalant, like, who gives a shit about whoever that was kind of demeanor. And he makes his way to the front of the line. A couple of the people in line are a bit rabble-rousy. But can I get a wits awareness from Max exclusively before walking into this club following?
What's awareness, you say?
Yes, sir.
So, Max, while he's taking whatever this is in, he's just going to whisper in Sean's ear, smooth.
Thank you.
How much money do you think Sean actually pulled and gave?
Oh, like $60-something. I'm English. I don't
should have
know if
asked how
that's a
much
lot.
you gave him. Should have been like a couple hundred.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, it's fine. It wasn't a full dot's worth of resources. Max ended up rolling 2 successes. And as Max leans in and gives that whisper to Sean, as you both are crossing the threshold heading into the club past the velvet ropes, Max's eyes are amongst the crowd milling about, a mash of bodies with laser lights flipping around and causing this very chaotic looking scene on the inside. Fog machines pouring out, and you can see people kind of twirling glow sticks around with glow stick necklaces and the like. However, the thing that catches Max's eye, that passes by the doorway very briefly, is a very familiar face. One that would not stand out amongst others, with long brown hair and a forgettable face. Stinky. You catch a glimpse of Stinky briefly as she passes by. Max is aware she's in the club somewhere.
Listen, kid, I'm gonna peel off. Like I said, I'll be back in a bit.
Okay.
And Max, as the camera kind of follows this invisible figure, disappears into the crowd, also looking for another familiar face. Can I get a wits awareness from Max? And Sean, now that you're in the club, what is his next move?
He's gonna go to the bar and get a drink, and then
Are you gonna blush of light? Can Thin Bloods blush of light? I can't
Thin
remember.
Bloods.
They don't, right?
Oh,
They're always
basically
blush
all
of
the
life?
time.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Cool. So you can drink.
so yeah, he's gonna.
So you
sip on
mash
his-
through a bunch of bodies, making your way. Max rolls another
Yep.
2 successes. We'll cut back to Max momentarily as we watch Sean shoulder his way through a kind of a large crowd before waving down a bartender, a young girl in pigtails with black and green kind of just strands of tassels hanging from her hair. Walks over and gives you a smile. Hey, beautiful, what can I get you?
Hey, something strong and fruity, please.
She, without a second thought, spins around and starts whipping up a drink. Max, on the other hand, is sliding around people in the crowd. People are moving out of the way subconsciously as he moves, as the brain basically tells them that there's no, but even though they say he's not there, they know they have to move around. And moving around through, with 2 successes, you're able to catch the back of her head. It's hard to keep track for a little while. She's moving towards the back of the area. Behind, it seems, as you continue to follow her, the DJ, into some back room. Do you continue to follow her quietly into that back room?
Yeah, I'm gonna trail her for sure.
You continue past the speakers as they get extremely loud when you get really close to them and To anybody else, it would probably be painful, but Max quickly just pushes by, not paying much heed to it, and through the double doors that lead into a back area. Stinky's actually by herself back here. It's a very small room with just a table in the corner. You watch as she walks over, and the bag slung over her shoulder she lifts, and she flips it open. She scurries around for something and grabs a plastic bag. It sounds like a crinkling. There's she closes the bag, and there's a little small metallic lockbox on that table that she also opens. She slides the baggie into that lockbox and slams it shut before reaching into her purse and grabbing a key and locking the lockbox. She then slides the lockbox out and walks to another door that leads further into the club. She gives it 3 loud bangs before she quickly darts around and looks to leave this place the way she came, which would mean going past you. Beyond that, this room is empty, save a chair behind the table.
Hey, Stinky, what's the rumpus?
As you speak and she makes her way to the door, we watch as the door shuts and we see Max's figure ripple into existence. This bat-like, human-like creature, and she stands wide-eyed. She takes a step back and clearly caught off guard.
I think I didn't intend to de-obfuscate.
Do you want to stay
like,
whispering then? Because you'd have to stay at a whisper level. My apologies. I just assumed you spoke.
Yes.
So you would whisper that lowly near her, where it would not cause you to reveal yourself. Same reaction from her, however. She stops dead. She actually steps back and she starts to look around, but she doesn't say anything.
So, how you been?
How'd you find me? And at this point, you watch her cling the purse very quickly to her front, and she wraps both of her arms around it.
Ways and means, Stinky. Ways and means.
She looks over both shoulders and, without responding, hurries toward the door.
She feels just a gentle hand.
Sure.
On her shoulder.
Don't run off just yet. I was wondering, how's our mutual friend doing?
There is you watch as you place the hand on her shoulder, and all of her posture changes. No longer it's a fear, but you feel her tense up, and yet on her face you can read what you might consider anger crawl across.
Hey, I think I told you before, no hard feelings. I got nothing against you, right?
As she's about to speak, she quickly whips her head over her shoulder as the door she slammed on 3 times. You can hear footsteps and what sounds like the door handle opening. Would you let her pass if she tried?
Let's keep this between us, shall we?
She says nothing, and she goes to move through.
I'll follow her.
Okay. The door flies open, and she quickly hurries out. Max follows in tow, and she actually looks to be making her way toward the front door in a quick hurry to leave. Max follows, presumably, and out the front door she goes. She doesn't wave to anybody, purse still very quickly clung. And then as she gets about to the street corner of this where this club is, and she looks both ways, she looks to burst into a sprint, and she begins to take off as fast as she can.
Max keeps pace with her.
She doesn't have celerity, so you can keep pace pretty well.
Hey, hold on. I just want to chat, all right?
She's going to make a roll because she needs to try and break through the blood bond to talk to you. She stops briefly. She turns, looking around. Make it quick. I'm not supposed to be talking to you.
Oh, yeah. Was you under specific instructions not to do that?
Listen, I know what you did. What do you want? If you're going to kill me, just fucking do it.
I ain't going to kill you, Stinky. I want to help you.
Help me.
I've been where you are.
You could help me by not killing my protector or attempting to.
Your protector. Is that what you think he is?
He's kept me safe this whole time.
Yeah, he's kept you safe. He did a real number on you, didn't he?
She shakes her head, confusedly. What do you even mean?
Yeah, He got right inside that skull of yours, didn't he?
No, he saved me, Max. Just like he tried to save you.
Stinky. Look, I don't want to see you get hurt, all right?
She looks to speak a couple times and then shakes her head. I don't know what you want from me.
I want to help you.
How?
I want to get you out from under his thumb. Whether you know it or not, that's where you are.
There is another moment where she looks like she's just lost in her thoughts. You see plenty of different expressions crawl across her face, from frustration to sadness to confusion, before she shakes her head. The only thing confusing me here is you, Max. You're telling me all these things, but he's never done any of them. And he told me how he tried to help you when you betrayed him, okay? I'm not gonna betray him. Look, I'm not gonna tell him you reached out to me, okay? I know you're trying to help me too. Maybe the two of you just got off on the wrong foot. Maybe it'd be good to talk when he's back on his feet.
I'd like that. I'd like to have a little talk.
There's again the inner thoughts clearly fighting with one another before she seems to stand up and have made a decision. She looks around. Listen, Max, don't start shit you don't want to finish, okay? He's a dangerous man, you know that. Just...
Oh, believe me, I want to finish this. But, like I said, I don't mean nothing against you, okay?
She bites her bottom lip for a minute before speaking out openly. I believe you. I believe you. And then...
Mind telling me what that was about?
She, at that point, shakes her head. I gotta go. And she looks to shuffle off very quickly.
Max is going to return to the club.
Back into the front door as you slip by invisibly. Looking for Sean, presumably.
Yeah.
Which awareness. Sean, you're about halfway through your drink now. It's been fun conversation with this girl. You know her name is Lauren. You know that she's been working here for about a year and a half. What kind of information, other than casual conversation, your flirtatious self, would you be looking for from the bartender?
Yeah, he's trying to charm her a bit, but he's also asking, like, so I heard that there was a good time to be had here, and I'm in a certain market, so
Charisma,
you wouldn't know about that.
persuasion.
Yeah. I think he's going to do a rouse check to get an extra dice on this. He's really, really rubbing it in.
I love it.
That
Ooh,
is
that a crit?
4.
4
Not a
successes.
crit.
Not a crit, but that's fine. 4 successes is a wonderful roll. And Max, you actually are able to... You figure he'll be at the bar, and as you make your way over there, oh, there he is. Flirting, talking to the bartender still. But as you bring this up, Sean, and it's at this point Max is able to get close enough to hear the rest of the conversation. She's like, yeah, the rumor flies fast, doesn't it? As she slides another one in front of you as you're about to finish up your first one, without even asking. She's like, well, those drinks are by... We'll call it appointment only. If that sounds a little weird, but we'll call it appointment only. And she smiles.
They're a special bartender.
She smiles. Sorta. Yeah, we only get the stuff in for, well, let's just say we run out of the supply in about a night when we get the stuff in. So Thursday nights, as she gestures around, tend to be the new night where people come looking for it.
Sean actually has to think real hard
Thursday.
to remember what day it is.
There's a moment where Sean is just dead silent, and yeah, it's Thursday.
Yeah, it's okay, great.
Yeah, and you're like, and she's like, lucky you, I guess. She's she looks around. She's like, well, I haven't gotten notification that we've gotten the stuff in yet. So once we get the stuff and we start making it, I'll make sure you get one of the first, so you don't run out.
Oh, sweet. I'm down for that.
Gotta say though, they're the priciest drink we have. And she looks you up and down. You sure you got what you need?
I always have what you need.
She gives you a smile and not entirely sure if you even knew what she was talking about. And goes about making drinks for others and kind of having like conversation with all the other guests around the bar, along with another bartender that she's run the bar back with. Does Sean want to wait until the drink, or does he want to kind of mill about? I'm curious.
He's going to mooch about and see if he can either find a conversation with someone who seems to know what's going on, or just see anything weird happening.
Sure. Honestly, Sean, as you look around, it's been a while since you've been... would Sean have been frequented clubs like this, out of curiosity, in his mortal days?
He would have tried. Yeah, I think he probably would, because it's like the only night out, the only social thing he could probably afford.
Okay. Then it's been a while since you've been to a place like this. However, as you look around, it's like taking in... it's like visiting an old friend. It's like that friend that you only see once a year, but every time you talk, it's as though you were talking yesterday. Being here gives you those kind of nostalgic, homey feelings. It's like your home turf. Sure, you've never been to Omnia, and you may not have been partying in Staten Island. Who the fuck parties in Staten Island? But being inside here, the atmosphere is perfect, and you feel like you belong. And as you look around, having casual conversations here and there, oh yeah, everybody knows about the drink. Oh, that's why this place is so fucking packed tonight, is because tonight's the night. If you're lucky enough, you might be able to buy one. But beyond that, nothing seems out of the ordinary. You don't get any weird, suspicious conversations. You don't see anything weird or suspicious happening at all until you wits awareness roll, please.
Again, he's gonna have to put some blood into
go ahead.
this
Rouse
because
check
he
me.
is. Yeah. Oof. Now
What's
he's
your hunger at?
2.
Okay, that's not bad at all. What do you want to reroll, or do you want to reroll 3 or no?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
That's
Okay,
3
with
total
3.
now.
With 3
He tries
die,
really hard.
with 3 successes after quite a bit of effort, and you're looking around, you actually see the bartender coming back out of the double doors behind the DJ. Max, you may wits awareness as well, as she's going to be coming from the room you were just in.
5.
Oh God, Jesus, beautiful. Yeah, you saw her. You saw her coming out as well. You weren't even looking for her, but you catch as she pops out, and she's got what looks to be a box of like a drink mix that she's carrying over. As she makes her way over and she catches eyes with you, Sean, she waves you over.
Oh, yep. He's goes
Yep.
straight.
Max, as
straight out.
you watch Sean kind of quickly make his way over that way, and you're kind of looking around. As you look around to the 3 stories and you gaze up, as Sean makes over and she's making a drink and very excitedly talking. Sean, sorry, I'm gonna make you make another wits awareness as she begins to make your drink. This is gonna be
Are these ingredients coming from?
Yes,
the
that's
back
exactly
room?
where they came from. That's what you saw. You saw her come out that back door.
So Max sort of leans in and just goes, "Yeah, don't drink that.
Oh, I wasn't gonna.
Don't. Yeah,
You got like a.
yeah.
You got one of your blood bags.
This might be a sneaking suspicion, but I think that Gustav's blood might be in there. Might be on the wrong track entirely. But yeah. You don't want that in your mouth.
Gross.
And then as he says gross, you literally like mumble gross to yourself, and she slams a drink in front of you. What's gross?
Oh, I think I stepped in something.
Oh no, I'm sorry. And she gives you like a really pitied look.
That's okay.
It's gonna be, and she gives you kind of a look. Expensive. And she smiles.
Pay now or later?
Now.
He gets out more of his cash, and he's so sad to.
How much do you hand her?
Part with. Probably like $500.
Okay. You hand her $500, and she starts counting it out, and she counts back 100 to you and hands you 100.
Oh. Wow.
Keeps 400 for herself and puts it over in a lockbox full of money.
He takes
Slides the
half of
drink
that and
fully
puts it in the
front of
tip
you.
jar.
And Max, with that 5 successes, as you were looking around and you saw her come out the back door and you walked over, as the drink is slid in front of her, in front of Sean rather, by the bartender, you look up It is 3 stories, and you can see there's railings for each floor, and there's people milling about and looking around. But there is someone on the 3rd floor that catches your eye very momentarily, leaning over, watching as you actually see now, Max, now that you turn around, other people handing out drinks and money's being exchanged. Same drinks that Sean has. And as you look up and you kind of look around as the drinks are being handed out, you actually see pink and green neon cat ears limply and briefly leaning over the railing of the 3rd floor before sliding back up and disappearing from view.
Again, pointing it out to Sean, just like,
Psst. Hey, caddy is at 12 o'clock.
Give me a roll, Sean. Wits awareness.
Yeah, this isn't good. 1.
Yeah, you did not see her at all. You look up and she's not there.
Look,
You
just
don't see
take
her.
my word for it, all right?
Okay. You got like a flask or something? He picks up like this woman doesn't expect him to drink it in front of her or anything weird.
She's not like eyeing you and being like, drink a bitch, drink a bitch, drink a bitch. No, she gave you the drink. She took your money. It's your drink. You do what you want.
Yeah. Sean's gonna like pick it up, walk around, try like even a coffee to go cup, like literally anything, Max.
yeah, Max like hands him an empty water bottle.
Yeah, so you can get like you see a plastic cup somewhere nearby that someone had something in, and you can grab it. It's an old McDonald's cup on the street. You gotta grab it at the tip. You pop off the plastic top, and you hand them like this paper McDonald's cup as you pour as much of it in as you can. And slapping a very thin plastic top on top of it. And you have now this McDonald's drink in the empty glass of it. They handed the bartender. You leave it on a table nearby. What do you do now?
I am gonna whisper.
Yep.
I'm gonna leave this on a table. You get this out of here. I haven't seen any thin bloods yet, though. So this is mighty suspicious.
Yeah, but would you know him if you saw him?
We have tells.
Yeah, like a big Ankh tattoo branded onto you? Yeah, that's usually a giveaway, I guess. But,
If you get to see them naked,
well, you play your cards right. All right. Okay, yeah, I got this. No problem.
So Sean nonchalantly breezes by a table, dropping the cup. Moments later, Max scoops it and it disappears from view. Does Max head out from here and heading back to the club? That's Vera's place, or are you going to stay and wait for Sean?
Yeah, I'm gonna decant this into something a little more sturdy. I think I probably have some empty water
Certainly.
bottles on me, something that
that
can actually
no
be
problem.
closed, so we don't have any comedic possibilities here. And close that up. So yeah, I'm gonna hang out and wait for Sean.
Okay, you're going to hang out and wait as Sean mills about, looking for thin bloods, trying to find tells as best he can. You're watching other people drink these drinks as well, though, Sean. And there is, I'm sure, an intrigue to all of it. Max as well, keeping an eye as people seem to be drinking. But Max, or should I say, but Sean is more familiar with the effects of drugs. Can I please get another wits awareness from you, Sean? But you're going to get a +1 to this roll.
Okay. A 1 again.
Damn, my friend. Damn. Over the course of about 20 minutes, as you're just kind of in the thick of it and very distracted, I'm sure Sean's mind's reeling, constantly looking up to see if these cat ears reappear. You're trying to keep tabs on these people. But it isn't until, like I said, maybe more, about half, maybe more than half, you realize that a lot of these people are disappearing. As you look around, there's less and less people with these drinks in hand. First, there was like 10 or so. But now, with that wits awareness, there seems to only be about 3. And you can see 2 of them talking to each other and 1 by themselves, and you see nobody else.
I've been keeping an eye on that back door. Am I seeing anybody going through that?
You have not seen anybody come or go out the back door. But as Max keeps an eye on the back door, eventually the doors swing open and 3 young boys come marching out. They are triplets, identical. They look exactly the same, and they are all laughing and cackling with one another. Each one of them has a similar drink in hand. You're not sure It's hard to be sure. But as they smile and laugh, they mingle into the crowd, and one of them makes his way right over to Sean. He places an arm on Sean's shoulder and looks down at the obvious brand tattoo on your chest, coming through your clothes and your ripped clothes. And he's like, "Where'd you get that work done, bud? I'd love to meet your artist." And as those words fall from his mouth, so too does the curtain on the episode. And we will return next week.
Do Vera a little favor, would you? Break out that Masquerade breach in your pocket and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at PodByNight or State Your Fate. Make sure to leave us a little 5-star rating and review, would you? And if you don't, well, I guess I'll just have to send Max after you.